Welcome back to the Coven, my brilliant students. Today we'll learn about a new commander, Vannifar, evolved Enigma, from the upcoming expansion Murders at Karlov Manor. Vannifar is an elf-fused wizard in Simic colors with a power of 3 and 4 toughness. Her ability is, at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose one, cloak a card from your hand, or put a +1/+1 counter on each colorless creature you control. Cloaking means putting a card onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature with Ward 2. You can turn it face up anytime for its mana cost if it's a creature card. Vannifar is quite strong, thanks to the first choice of her ability. This let us cloak a card from our hand at the beginning of combat. This is strong because we can cloak some big creatures or enchantments and then blink them to cheat them into play. Unfortunately, if you try to blink a sorcery or an instant, they remain exiled. Vannifar is in Simic colors, allowing us to run some pretty mana-heavy creatures. If we can cheat them into play, we can ramp and play them normally. To make this strategy function, we need to include as much ramp, blink and big creatures as we can fit in the deck. The main game plan is to play a mana accelerator such as Bird of Paradise or Growth Spiral. Then, if we have any way to blink our cards in hand, we want to get out our commander as soon as possible. As soon as our commander hits the field, cloak some big creatures such as Blight Seal Colossus or Galta Stampede Tyrant, or a game-ending enchantment like Omniscience. If we don't have a way to blink our cloaked cards or our opponent stops our strategy, we focus on two things, control and ramp. We can control the board with mass bounce spells such as Devastation Tide or mass target exiles such as Curse of the Swine. Also, we use cards like Repulsive Mutation or Heroic Intervention to protect our board. We can blink our cloaked big boys with cards like Displacer Kitten, Tassa Deep Dwelling, Ghostly Flicker, and more. Keep in mind that every time we blink something, we repeat the ATB trigger, making cards like Portal to Phyrexia deadly. For all the scholars still there, this is the part where this deck gets out of hand. Vannifar's ability is a triggered ability. This means that the ability is put on the stack at the beginning of combat on our turn. We can copy the ability to cloak additional cards. We can use cards such as Strionic Resonator and Roaming Throne to copy the trigger, or just copy our commander with Sakashima the Impostor. There are lots of ways to go infinite in Simic colors, but you don't need to go infinite with this deck to win. In fact, imagine a Jingi Texas Core Ogre hitting the field as soon as turn 3. Your opponent just don't have the speed to keep up with you. Try not to be too obvious with the cards you cloak and save your protection to guard your commander or big cards. In Simic, you have the speed to ramp, protect, play stumpy big creatures, but if you are seen at the table as an arch enemy, people will focus you down and you'll lose. Try to be political with your cards and go all out only when you are sure you can close out games. You can find a decklist I personally brewed in my lab down below in the description. I'm pretty excited about the release of Vannifar and the new expansion. I would love to know if you're hyped too for it. See you next time, my witchcrafty students!